Welcome to the 5th episode of Mondays with Manny, and this week we're covering one of my favorite ways to teach the come command. Be sure to subscribe to my channel at Canine Parent Training so you can stay up to date on canine PT content, and I hope you enjoy. This is a straightforward, practical recall progression video. The overall intention of the video is to show you small little baby steps that get added together to work on conditioning a very reliable recall from your dog. So in this first clip you're about to watch, we have an example of baiting a specific target to then practice sending the dog to that target in order to set up some distance to then recall the dog back to you. So that's what this looks like. So here's another version of the check it out drill. There's a little bit of baited food over by the tree, and we're going to send Marco over there to set us up for a recall. I'm using a retractable leash just to make things a little bit smoother. I only advocate the use of retractable leashes for training, not general walking. That's why I have this leash also. So let's see how it goes. He's never done this before. Check it out. Yes. Come. Yes. Good boy. And in this next clip, we're taking advantage of something that the dog wants to go and investigate and incorporating the same pattern that we had practiced in the clip previous to this. What we're doing is making the dog hold a position and then giving them permission to send to go and investigate, and again setting up some distance and then have a reason to recall the dog back to us. Okay, even though we haven't practiced all that much, I wanted to show you a practical application of that exercise with the tree. Marco just sniffed something exciting over there. I took it as an opportunity to try and put this drill into practice. So let's see if he's still interested in that. There's no bait over there now. Marco, check it out. Yes. Come. Yes. Free. And in this next clip is another practical example of putting this pattern into use. I noticed that the dog wanted to smell a particular tree. Instead of just letting him go and do that, I took it as an opportunity to practice the drill. I put the dog into a stationary position and then gave him permission to go and investigate. What this does is sets me up to have some distance in between the dog and myself to then recall him back to me. Okay, we've got one more practical application here. He seems to be interested in that tree. There's no bait over there. We're gonna see what's possible. We've done almost no repetition of this, so let's see. Sit. Check it out. Yes. Come. Yes. Good boy. Very nice, buddy. Much better than pulling to go smell something. All right, we have a decent amount of repetition built in with this exercise now, and we're passing along a line of trees that he's showing some interest in. I'm gonna put the exercise to the test by trying to recall him while he's on the way over to smell something, so interrupt him while he's busy using his nose. Let's see what that looks like. I'm just gonna let him go. Come. Yes. What we wanted. Free. Good boy. So what's important to talk about that last clip is the slight variation in when I'm asking the dog to come back to me. So far, we've been letting the dog get all the way to the intended spot to sniff and investigate and then recalling the dog back. What happened in that last clip was sending the dog away to go and investigate something and then recalling him while he was in the middle of planning to go and investigate that. So now we're working on interrupting the dog with the recall command while he's in drive. And now with all of those progressions added together, what we're ready for is to then practice a real world scenario. So what you're going to see in this next clip is me giving the dog permission to go send away to interact with a group of birds. And what I do is, while he's in the midst of pouncing over to interact with those birds, I recall him, and what you see is him turn on a dime and come back to me. The reason I'm able to accomplish that is because of all of those small little incremental progressions that we added together to build a strong recall behavior. Check it out. German Shepherd dog. Rose. Let's see what happens. Go check it out. Come! Yes! That's what I wanted. Good boy. Free. Good boy. So the idea here, guys, is if you want to have a reliable come command or a recall with your dog, practice has to look pretty darn close to when you would actually need your dog to recall. So when do we usually need them to come back to us? It's when they're at the edge of the yard getting into something we don't want them to, when they dart away from us, perhaps out the front door, and we need them to come back, any of those types of situations. And what I've found is that in rehearsal or in practice time, if we can practice not just a sit, stay, and then come to us, but rather have our dogs doing something else in the middle of something in drive, and then getting them to recall to us, that's the best way to start working on getting them to reliably turn around and come back when we actually need it. Good luck.